Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Okay. Oh, there we are. I had to hit a button. Thank you.
All right.
Here. Ready.
Okay, 9 o'clock, so get the meeting started. This meeting and all other meetings of the committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the media in accordance with Wisconsin statutes so that the citizenry may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of the meeting. It looks like with Pete and Lila on Zoom that we're all here. Could we have a motion to accept the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Well,
Okay,
your feet.
next is review of the previous minutes from January 22nd.
Motion to approve.
Second it too. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Lila, did you?
Oh, aye. Sorry. I was on mute. I'll be a little better with that. Aye.
Thank you.
Next, is there any correspondence?
I had none. Did you have any?
Nope, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. And under administrator department reports, Chris isn't here, but he did write up what's in the presentation.
You provided a written report for your packets.
And I'll just add the facility update. We as a staff will be talking in the next week. We got a preliminary plan of what the space would potentially look like in the lower level. And we need to have any suggested changes or improvements that we want to make to that by April 10th. For the, whichever committee it goes to next, I don't remember exactly. And so we're working on that. One of the biggest things that we're just trying to figure out is there's fewer office spaces in the plan than Jim had said he was going to do for our office. So we're just kind of looking at space and trying to figure that out.
Well, make sure you check on your square footage, what you have now and what you feel you need. That's, the square footage is a big thing.
Yeah, and that actually Chris had asked because on one of the plans, our space went out further, and what we got now, the computer and electrical comes into the space that was originally like marked to be our office. And so it's just figuring it out, and it'll all work out, and we're just all kind of putting our heads together of where we can best utilize like the workspace and the storage space and everything like that. So but thank you, we will do that. That's a good reminder. And I think the other thing Chris would want us to note, and I believe he shared this date with the committee before, but May 30th is the, on the backside of his report is the date that UW-Madison will be celebrating its 175th anniversary in the Appleton area. And our extension offices will have some role in that. We don't know what, but May 30th is that date. The university is doing things all year, so I don't know, just for that anniversary. And our other last exciting news in Chris's report, he has that the community development educator role was offered. And it can be announced, right? It has been accepted that Amy will be filling that role, so congratulations to Amy.
I'm very excited.
Which means we will be moving forward then with looking at filling a full-time county position of a program assistant position. Because Amy had been doing 60% and 40%. And so she'll go full-time to community development, and we will be looking at a full-time program assistant position in the front office.
Does anybody else have anything to add? Or-
Congratulations, Amy.
Thank you.
Okay, this, next we'll go down to educator reports. Penny, you're on again.
I am, and I just wanted to share, if you would like to take one of these and pass them down. This is a new annual report that we got from the state office that you're able to keep. We got a packet of copies, and it's just a really nice overview of the 4-H program across the state and the programming that takes place, some of the newer programming, some of the traditional programming, and it has membership numbers. We've had some really good positive changes in our state level staff that have really been, working on things like this and, sharing the impact of the program across the state. And so we're just really happy with the report and everything that it shares for the statewide program. So I had wanted to share that with all of you. And we had Super Saturday on Saturday, and it went really well. We had 175 kids register. We had about 165 show up. We had a few that didn't show up, and then about another 100 parents. We had 40 classes that they could choose from. Everything from turkey calling and pour painting and woodworking. We did animal science, we had an agriculture career class, and the normal class that Dr. Schaffner does where they dissect animal organs. I never go down that hallway. And Jim Binder, if you know Jim from New London, he came and did a talk on fur trapping. He is the state educator on the fur trapping group. I forget the official name, but he lives down the road from us, and I had asked him to come in, and so he did a talk on fur trading. That was a full, not fur trading, fur trapping. He might trade it a little, I don't know, but he's always entertaining to listen to. And so just a lot of variety of classes, and just some really, it was just really, it went really well. So it's a lot of work and nice when it's a success, and now we just have all of the putting everything away and reporting and all of those things. So Manoa School again had, you know, let us use the facility, and so it's a good a really good 4-H event. Our biggest event of the year after the fair, which isn't our event, we just participate, but by far our largest 4-H event each year. If anybody has any questions for me, I would answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Allison to give a AmeriCorps update on what she has been doing. Anybody have any questions for me? Yes.
Was Bill Dahlman there? On turkey calling?
Turkey calling actually was Dr. Larry Schaffner,
Oh,
the vet from Waupaca.
Bill Dahlman can do it without a turkey call.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah.
It's very amusing.
Oh.
I mean, it's unreal,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, no, Larry wanted to do that this year, in addition to the advanced animal science. We had a young lady, we did have 6 youth that taught classes. We had her sister and my daughter taught a painting class. We had another young lady teach a watercolor painting class. One of our ambassadors taught a first aid kit class, and they made first aid kits. And Evan Retzloff from New London taught propagating plants from his FFA experience. He did a plant workshop. And another one did book folding, where you have a book and you make a design in the pages, like you fold them to the 1/8 of the inch, and they made a heart shape of the pages in the book, and so it was nice to have so many people involved. Yes, there is. So yeah, so Allison has been with us since January. We introduced her in January. And so she has been busy, and I just had wanted to take the opportunity today for her to share about work that she has been doing.
Yes, so I started in January, just kind of reaching out to as many people as I could think of, and hoping that they respond, because I really had no idea what to expect from the libraries and schools and Parks and Rec. Those are the main community members that I reached out to. But we got some responses. Marion, we joined Shawano County and Marion right away, basically in their elementary school after school program. And then I also started a program in New London, and Clintonville, we're doing one session coming up soon in April. And then for libraries, we have mainly summer programs, mainly doing STEM, because that seemed to be what they were most receptive to, what they most wanted to bring to their youth in the area. So in Manoa, we have one STEM bottle rocket activity, and then also I'm delivering project kits. So we're bringing 30 greenhouse project kits to that library, just to teach gardening and seeds and all of that kind of basic gardening information. And in London, we're doing 2 project kits. We're doing the greenhouses, and we're doing pan flutes to do some education about music. And we're doing 2 sessions of bottle rockets there, and we're going to have approximately 100 youth. So that'll be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Waupaca, we have 4 STEM activities over the course of the summer, kind of every other week. And then in Fremont, instead of doing STEM, they were more interested in the like arts and fitting into their theme, which is adventure starts at your library for the summer. So we're doing 5 sessions. We're doing journal making, which is one of the sessions from Super Saturday. We're doing scavenger hunt, cooking, paper making, and natural paint. And then at the Parks and Rec department in Waupaca, we haven't decided anything for sure, but we may be joining them this summer for their programs, as well as joining them for their environmental science day and bringing a session to them there.
Do you want to explain the greenhouse, what the picture is there?
Yes, so it's in a CD case. It's like a piece of felt, that you keep it damp and you put 4 seeds on it and then you can watch them sprout through the CD case, and just the CD sealing it makes it a like kind of greenhouse.
That's so cool.
Yep, that is in the window of
Yes.
my old office, and I had Allison, she's doing a little journal with it, so we can tell the kids kind of a
Yes.
time frame of
Yes.
when things happen.
Mhm.
I'm just very excited with the connections that Allison has been making in the community. And it's just things, there's too much to do. So getting into, schools and libraries in addition to the community club program is just a lot to try to accomplish with one person. And so it's been very nice to have Allison be able to concentrate on that part. And a lot of counties, well, maybe not a lot, I shouldn't say a lot. Some counties, they have been very successful in starting in school and after school 4-H clubs. And that's where some of the growth has been coming in some counties, especially in some of the urban areas of the state. We aren't at that point quite yet, but like with Marion, when we're up in Marion with Shawano County 4-H, she does call it an after-school 4-H club, the Shawano County educator, and because it's pretty much the same kids and it's every Thursday. And so we've been up there 4 or 5 times with her and supporting that effort. And so we're working into those things. New London is 4 weeks. Tonight will be the 3rd week, and I'm a little scared, but we're working with water. And so it might be a little interesting. We are doing rain gutter regatta. It's a track that the Boy Scouts generally use for racing things. And you put water in it and they'll make boats out of recycled materials that Allison has. And then I think you use a straw to blow your boat down the water and race each other. And they're just
They're rambunctious.
yes, that's a nice word. They're rambunctious elementary school students at Parkview. So it'll be good. We did the rockets last week there, and her sister's been coming along as well. So it's been, but did you have other things you wanted to share? Sorry.
I don't know.
Okay. Any questions on that? Oh, I should share, the AmeriCorps program is through the Wisconsin 4-H office. There's funding, it's a grant funded program. We had to provide, I think it was $2,500, if I remember it, as a match, just for the whole, Allison is here from January through August, 900 hours. And so, Chris had shared that originally there was a match from the county office, but the amount of hours and time and everything is far outweighed of that match, and the number of people we're able to reach, and just to let them know that like this is some of what 4-H can be. So we may not, have the clubs forming in some of those locations, but just sharing what 4-H is. And in general, our membership actually did go up this year from last year. We're at about 415 members in the 4-H program. Last year we had 398, and I really wanted to get back to the 400. So it's exciting. We're about 415 members. So I will stop talking.
I have a question. Is the AmeriCorps position, like, do you already know that that's something you can continue next year? Or is it questionable?
We had to apply.
Okay.
So I did fill out the form. to try and have another position, it'd be January to August again.
Okay.
It is, like, they have to apply, the state has to apply annually for the, AmeriCorps grant, and then they're looking at which counties are interested, and the state coordinators will decide.
Do you have an idea of how many counties in the state are involved?
The AmeriCorps position is like 25, isn't it?
I think so.
Because there actually was the option to have full-time plus 3/4 time. Oh, is that, how many?
It's
did I
on
say?
page 10.
Page 10, it's a picture of the state, of all of the locations.
Good
And,
job.
yeah, I know.
Well, it was kind of fascinating too.
We didn't get that far.
So there's, I think they ended up with just across the state, I think it was 2 full-time members, which is, 1,800 hours for the year. And then, a couple 3/4 time, and there's about a dozen half-time that started and did orientation together. And then there's another group that is the summer, that's 1/4 time over the summer here. And then they'll be starting that rotation again.
Pete, I don't know if you can see that. Goes all the way across the state.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been good.
Looks like close to half, not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's around 25 or so.
I think so.
And some counties have more than one. It just depends on what programming they had wanted the individual to do. And the way that it's funded, so Allison is, she's not technically an employee, she is an AmeriCorps member. AmeriCorps is similar to what Peace Corps would be overseas.
Yeah.
It's the domestic Peace Corps. And so she gets paid a living allowance is what they call it. And it's the same amount every week, no matter how many hours she puts in. And it's just that the 900 hours is the goal for the whole time. So,
I counted 28 counties.
oh, thank you. Mhm.
I think it's cool that you still have a extension email address though, because that is really helpful to associate, especially like when we have, when we're going into a new school or like reaching out to a new partner, they're not always as willing to like email back if they're unsure, but I think having that extension association, partners are usually familiar with the extension if they're not familiar with the name that's associated with the email, so I feel like that's probably been helpful for you to have
Yeah,
success
I
in
think-
your communication track too.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like being visible, like even if they don't respond, hopefully they remember. If in the future they get, like, we contact them, yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And from the list that you have here of who you're working with currently, there has been some overlap with like some of our programming, some of your other programming that you've done, I'm sure, with the community development position, so. I just want to commend you for all the work that you're doing. It seemed really awesome and I would love to shadow one of your lessons.
You're more than welcome. You want to come tonight?
Well, I know all about Rambo classes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It also has been an opportunity last year, not with AmeriCorps, but now this year with the garden, community garden, we've already sort of penciled in, Allison to be a part of the community garden sessions that, Foodwise and the coalition that we sit on, are doing at the garden across from Data Care, so it's fun to bring in to, partners of things that we're doing.
I have an idea, but we need to talk about that here.
Yeah, the more young people we can get involved earlier, and I remember when my grandson got in, his attitude toward everything improved when he was in 4-H.
That's great.
For sure.
That's great.
Just thinking about planting alone, a lot of people don't realize. When you plant tomato seed from seed, you should actually replant that tomato 4 or 5 times so it gets a root growth before you put it in the ground. And that's a tool they can use to advance them, and they'll remember that. When they're kids, they'll remember.
I always think it's fascinating too with 4-H that like my perception of it when I was growing up was like that you had to live on a farm, right? And it's so much not that
Oh, yeah.
in, you know, a lot of capacities. So I think that the opportunities that you're providing too are really, really cool.
All of the library events that you're doing are obviously for the whole community too.
Yes,
Right,
so-
not just the
Mhm.
4-H members.
So it's very nice. Most of the audience I'm reaching, I think all of it is primarily non-4-H members, people who maybe haven't even heard of 4-H, so that's very exciting.
And like what we're doing, Allison put together like a half sheet letter that, like at Parkview now, you know, it says something like, you know, the last 4 weeks, your child has participated in 4-H activities on Mondays after school. If you'd like to learn more about 4-H, this is the information. So, you know, we're trying not to, be pushy, like, you know, you have to join 4-H, but to give people the opportunity to just know what it is.
Yeah, it's an
So-
opportunity for recruitment.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
We are, next week though, we are also making bunny cakes.
Yeah.
We, her sister Abby is a senior and she's a 4-H ambassador and she volunteered or was voluntold, but, their mom had said, oh, we've made these bunny shaped cakes in the past and so, Abby is leading a Zoom next Tuesday night. People got packages with the cake, the frosting, sprinkles, jelly beans, licorice whips for whiskers and all kinds of stuff. And we had 32 families sign up for that.
Really?
And there's a couple that are non-4-H and then the majority are 4-H families, but, we did 1 kit per family, so we have 32 families with a lot of them having more than 1 child, so it'll be interesting to see how next Tuesday goes, making bunny cakes.
Are you doing where they submit a picture when it's done? Like the snowman and all?
Oh,
the-
that we
like,
maybe
other
could, we
stuff?
could from the Zoom, yeah. Yeah, from the Zoom, we could take some pictures. We're gonna ask them to have the cake baked, like they have to make 2 round cakes. And then Abby will show how to cut out the pieces to shape
Yeah,
it
so
like
like-
a bunny.
One cake is the face and then one cake you cut like that, so it's ears and a bow tie for around the face. Yes.
I thought it was a tin with a bunny shape.
No, we're gonna make them work a little.
Love it.
Did they have it this weekend or Saturday at the concert? What was that? They were selling goods. Did you happen to go by the goods table?
Oh, I did, I bought some mint cupcakes.
What, didn't he have, what was it, a rabbit?
I don't know,
It was
I
kind of
was,
crowded there. I didn't get in front.
I was so wiped out from Super Saturday. I fell asleep and I got to the concert like at 5 to 6. And I was supposed to be helping with the raffle. So, but I did have time to buy mint cupcakes. It's, I forget who it is. It's somebody around the area that makes like those, you know, kind of decorative cupcakes, like
Mm.
fancy cupcake. So yeah, I didn't see everything that time. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. That is our report.
Okay, next we go down to outreach, education or program reminders and announcements on the staff.
Anybody have anything else?
I have a really quick one. I handed out a couple of flyers for each of you, and Lila and Pete, I will email these to you as well. The first one is a program that's put on through the local government program, and that's in partnership with the Wisconsin Counties Association. But it's a county officials workshop, which is good for both newly elected county officials as well as seasoned county officials. And that goes over some topics that are going to be important for them as they step into their role. So there are 7 locations that they will do that throughout the state as well as a virtual option. And then the other one is this one they did last year as well, but this is put on through the Community Development Institute as well. It's the Feed webinar series, and that's for essentially food entrepreneurs who are in a startup phase or people who are thinking about starting a food business. So it might be people who are farming and they'd like to start selling at farmers markets, or people who are starting a food truck business. It goes over some of those things of running those businesses. So this one is free of charge. It starts on April 1st and there are 5 sessions. So I recommend if you know anyone who that would apply to, please share that with me. That is all I have for today.
And Amy, can we ask you to, and if you can send this to Amy, if you can include this written report when you email them too, that'd be great. Thank you.
This first one, because the whole county board should be
Mhm.
aware of this, is
Yeah.
getting passed through them.
Yes, I agree. Yep, I'll send that over to the clerks for the new people coming in, and pretty much everybody would find value in that.
Well, Wisconsin Counties Association is
Mhm.
one of the sponsors, so that should.
Which is looking at the close of Monday, May 6th, Stevens Point. Interesting. Well, that gives them a month. I'm looking for the deadline. Help me scan this. What's the
Let's
deadline
see.
to enter
I don't see a deadline.
that? $75 registration.
So you'll wanna register at least 7 days before the workshop date.
Oh, there it is.
Otherwise, you'll have to pay 85.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I was scanning fast. You were
Yeah.
fast. with scanning.
I like to read the fine print. That's usually where those things hide.
See, there's also one in Green Bay too. Actually, Point would be the,
Point would be close. I didn't see now where it was at.
The one in Point is at the Holiday Inn.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's right on the right hand side as you come in.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a fancy new one. Oh, it's fancy.
I just wanna,
Before you get to all these, as you come in, it'd be I think it's the second stop and go right, you turn right.
Kind of almost, I'd say, pretty close to almost behind Aldi's.
Is all these on the other side where I've never been?
I don't remember exactly, yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Goodwill. I stop at Goodwill.
It's before you get to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Goodwill's on the other.
Yeah,
I
Goodwill
like
is on
shopping
the other
at
side.
I do
Goodwill.
too. Find all kinds of treasures there.
You can't make money if you don't spend money.
I was just gonna share that in food wise, we've been busy with partners reaching out to us, particularly Head Start. We've offered parent cooking classes, parent-child cooking classes at both the New London and the Waupaca location thus far. We do have one coming up in Clintonville. And then we will also be offering a series of parent-child cooking classes in Clintonville through the Compassionate Connect Center again. We did that last year. And they were very well attended and successful. And I wrapped up a series in Clintonville 2nd grade, and now I'm moving to Waupaca for both kindergarten and 2nd grade. And then in May, I'll be in New London.
And we're also actually working with the Waupaca Public Library to support an exhibit. We've never done that before, so I'm excited to be able to work with a lot of community partners locally and across the state. We are focusing, the exhibit will be on hunger, poverty, food insecurity, and really structurally sound food systems. So it's going to cover a lot, but really kind of trying to shine light on the work that we do in FoodWise and a lot of our partners that support families with limited resources to help kind of visually express the need for the resources that our community does have. Such as the food pantry that's right in the Waupaca Public Library, other food pantries across the county. Resources such as WIC, Food Share, that help families, really kind of bridge the gap when they need it, so, we don't exactly know what it's gonna look like yet, we're in the beginning phases, but we're gonna meet monthly, and so the exhibit will run from, like early August to early October. So we were really fortunate that they were able to squeeze us in for that amount of time, because they have exhibits that book out, years in advance, so they felt that this was important and they wanted to fit us in, so we'll definitely give you more information when it's closer.
And I may have missed this, but just to be sure, like, this is the whole exhibit room.
Yes.
This isn't just like a table exhibit.
Right.
This will be the whole exhibit room. If you were on the committee when 4-H did that back in 2018, I believe it's 1,500 square feet.
Say it's like double this room
Yeah.
in length.
So yeah, just to be sure that, like, it's
Yeah.
that whole exhibit room, is what they'll be utilizing, so
Yeah, thanks.
it's cool.
And I didn't realize that the Waupaca Public Library is very unique in the fact that they have that exhibit space, that whole room, and they're actually one of a few libraries in the nation that have that amount of dedicated space for exhibits. So their exhibits that rotate through come from across the US sometimes. I know that they have one coming up soon on the Holocaust, so that one is something that is rotating throughout the state, and they just happen to be able to squeeze it into a packet for a few months, so. Excited to be on their calendar.
Okay, if there's nothing else, I have one question. Does anybody know the status of Tiffany as far as health concerns, things? No.
That I do not know. We can make a note to have Chris email the committee with an update when he's back next week. I don't have it.
Yeah, we haven't gotten an update as a team as of lately.
But we will.
It's probably something we shouldn't talk about in an open meeting, when it comes to personnel. So,
Okay, we'll just let Chris bring it
Yep.
up. Okay, if that's it, and see, our next meeting is scheduled for April 22nd. This time, I guess I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.
Good job, girls.
Thank you. Have a good week.
You